Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is pick out one of your dogs. I brought that in, and the canvas size that you can see is really small, so I'm going to make it 500% bigger than your source image. By the way, it'd just be better to have larger source images so you can get better detail, but this works out okay. So the first thing we're going to do is go to selection. You know about this. There's the mask, turn it on and off. Choosing the source and the local and the soft yes, and what you want to do is like start way up high where the white is. I think where you were getting in trouble was when you were trying to select like in the middle of the dog. So so what we did here is the same thing where you invert the selection and then you choose to do it to black. There's another step I want to show you. You can see it looks pretty good the way it is, but I also figured out another step that's kind of cool. So go to the vectorizer and then go to the preset section down here and then choose Sketch 22 and go back to the editor. And what I want you to do is change the vectorizer source to current layer so that we'll just be working with what's in the layer right now. And then just press action, and then that kind of gives it a little smooth outlook. It looks a little different, than just the selection, but it's something you might like, so I put it in there. So let's move on to the next dog. So now we have I don't know what that is called. Sorry. So here we are with the next dog. So I brought him in. Didn't change the canvas size because it looks about right as from the last one. And I also just wanted to say again that we talked about this last time where you were disturbed because the last selection was still on the canvas. So you can always get rid of that by going selection, set to, and full off. So just remember that it doesn't matter if it's there. It'll as soon as you make a new selection, it's going to change. But if you want to set it off, that's what you do. You just do the canvas selection, set to, and full off. And same thing again. I went back to selection. Same thing. It's like on source, growth local, soft yes. That's all that area. And turn on the mask and start from the edge again. So I really just want to choose the white. So and then the same thing. I'm going to selection. I'm going to invert it, and then erase the canvas to black. And then we'll have the black dog. And then again, go to do this. Oh, I'm actually on this one. I'm doing, there's a couple of little problems. So I'm going to go over to the paint synthesizer. There's erasers in the paint synthesizer. So I'm going to go just pick a simple eraser. And you can use the B key. If you hold down the B key and you just draw the size, then you can change the size of the eraser. So if it's too big and you're erasing too much, you can make it smaller. Anyway, and I'm just going to clean up a few little things. And now I'm going to go back to that same thing in the vectorizer. And I'm going to change it to current layer. And I'm going to press action. And now you see down here, there's a little threshold area. So you can change that back and forth if you want to get a little more detail, a little less detail kind of thing with that. So you can play around with that if you like this look. Okay, so now we're on to the next one, and fluffy white dog. So same thing exactly. This one is interesting because it's filling up most of the image. So, and fortunately it's a little off white from the background, so that makes it a little easier. But when I do this for selection, you can see that you get the whole outline, but there's no space between the legs. I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to try to finesse this. So I'm just going to go now towards the legs in there and just try to get that, and then And then I'll keep working with it back and forth until I kind of get what I want. So I've got the inside here, and it's a little more difficult too because there's a shadowing on there. Anyway, so now I have it, so it's pretty good. So I'm going to invert it and erase to black. And then also do the vectorizer trick, just like we did with the last one. Okay, so now we're on to the next one, which is the Shaggy Dog. Same thing, start with your cursor up towards the top or corner or just away from the dog so that you will be getting as much white selection as you possibly can. So same thing, invert it, erase the canvas to black, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the vectorizer trick that I showed you. So you can just see if you like that or not. And then I'm going to save the image. In the next video, we're going to show the Afghan dog that has a lot of white in the actual image itself. So I'm going to show you a technique on how to deal with that so you can make a better selection.